All right, welcome back, Truth Seeker. Want to talk a bit more about the Valentine's Day power outages. The two cities, as of today, February 19th, that are still without power are Portland, Oregon, and Houston, Texas. And when I think of these two cities, being from Portland, I think of Clyde Drexler, Clyde the Glide, who played his college ball at Houston, became a great for Portland, went back and played for Houston later in his career. I also think of Enron, the corrupt energy company that, because of their corruption, changed the laws of accounting and hurt a lot of people, including people in Portland, because Enron from Houston bought out Portland General Electric, and when they collapsed, they lost every employee of Portland General Electric's pension that went down with Enron. But then I also think of the current basketball star in Portland, Damian Lillard, whose brother's name is Houston and who coaches high school football at Jefferson High School, which is just blocks from where the Blazers play in Portland, Oregon. And here's what's wild about this. Lillard's birthday is July 15th. And from his last birthday to the Valentine's Day power outage was 214 days. And think about that, because Valentine's is written 214, like 214. And then from Valentine's Day to his upcoming birthday this year is 151 days. And of course, we had Valentine's circled for a power outage weeks in advance, because after January 15th passed, I looked for the next date, which made sense for the planned blackout, because all year our politicians, news officials, world elite, Klaus Schwab at the World Economic Forum, they've been forecasting the darkest winter. So we knew they were going to pull the plug in the middle of winter. And just because they've done it doesn't mean they're done yet either. This could happen more. But 151 was the number. And what are the odds that from the day of the Portland blackout and winter storm to their biggest sports star's upcoming birthday is 151 days? This reminds how in Houston, at the same time they've had the power cut off on them, their biggest sports stars, J.J. Watt, like energies like Watts, and Deshaun Watson, won out of the city. And again, look at the gematria of J.J. Watt. 84, 78, 42, just like Austin, where the power company is in Texas, ERCOT, that's responsible for the power being out throughout the state, especially in Houston. And with regards to that whole 84 thing, the biggest sports star in Portland for the Blazers prior to Damian Lillard was Clyde Drexler, and his full name is Clyde Austin Drexler, which happens to equal 84. Again, it's the Jesuits who are behind all of this. Just like when I predicted all this happened, I said, look no further than the Jesuits. That's who will be responsible. Austin's a Jesuit stronghold. Look at what Damian Lillard's name equals. 56, just like Society of Jesus. Again, a lot of these athletes are Manchurians, meaning they were born and bred to be and named accordingly for the planned rituals that they would be a part of. And last year we were talking about how Kobe's death was perfectly synced up with Damian Lillard, because Lillard had that song Funeral, and then Lil Wayne's album came out, Funeral, with the tribute to Kobe. Again, go back and revisit that. Lillard's birthday is 15/7, like 157. Kobe Bryant died on his 157th day of his age. Kobe Bryant equals 157. The All-Star game was dedicated to them, and the first team to score 157 points was the winner. But you just got to say, what are the odds? And what else is weird is Portland just played in Houston on January 28th. The date that can be written 28/1, 281, like the Houston area code's 281. So those two teams on that date, just weeks before the blackouts in both cities. And again, Houston is the energy capital of the United States of America, if you're not aware of that. Biggest energy city in the nation is Houston. And again, here's Clyde the Glide. What's weird is he's 58 years old right now. Power equals 58. He's from New Orleans. Louisiana had a major power problem too. If there's any other place that still has the power out, it's Louisiana. And that's actually where Clyde's from. He played his college ball in Houston, became the big star for the Blazers, and then finished his career back in Houston. And again, Enron, that very corrupt company, wrecked all Portland General Electric employees. It's possible they did that in other places where they bought up energy companies as well. But it was a big deal when Houston's Enron bought up Portland General Electric. Also, remember, Valentine's Day equals 74. Cold equals 74. Fox News, their headline about this story was the Lone Star Freeze, which equals 74. ERCOT, down in Austin, responsible for the power being out in Texas. ERCOT is 74, and so is energy. And the only state that has Gematria of 74 is Oregon. And Oregon and Texas are known for being prideful states. There might be some greater parallel about their history that I don't know, maybe something with a ley line. There's obviously something going on with Portland and Houston. And wanted to put this out there for people to think about, but it's very clear to see that Portland's ritual is perfectly synced with Damian Lillard. And again, the Houston ritual is perfectly synced with J.J. Watt. If you missed the work I've already done, and this is the first video I've seen on this subject, go back and watch the others. Again, J.J. Watt's birthday is March 22nd, 322. This whole ritual synced up with Klaus Schwab, which I talked about weeks before it happened, 322 days after his birthday. That's also 46 weeks, and you know what? Houston, Texas equals 46. So does Rip City, which is Portland's nickname, which comes from the Blazers. Got its nickname through the Blazers organization, Rip City. So that's another thing to think about. But again, those Georgia Guidestones put there on March 22nd, 322, calling for the Earth's population to be reduced to 500 million. And J.J. Watt's full name, just like Valentine's Day, like the Great Reset, which Klaus Schwab called for, who also talked about the darkest winter coming. So, again, there's a lot more to this ritual. Go back and check it out. It's synced up with Travis Scott, the rapper from Houston, the birth of his child, Stormy, on February 1st of 2018, 2-1. And then in 21, this happens. Again, from the release of his single Sicko Mode, which talks about it's freezing cold outside, out like a light. From the release of that song to February 14th was 909 days. In numerology, when zero's in the middle of a number, it doesn't count. So it's like 99, like J.J. Watt wears 99. The planet that represents electricity, which is Zeus, is Jupiter, which equals 99. Astrotheology, Zeus. Travis Scott's album Astro World. Sports, entertainment, ritual, synced up with what becomes the real news. You know, keep in mind, J.J. Watt's 31 years old right now. Houston equals 31. Beyonce did the blackout Super Bowl when she was 31 years old. She's from Houston. She releases her line of clothing today, February 19th. What are they calling it again? Icy Park. Icy Park, you guys. Beyonce coming out with the Icy Park clothing line. And the week of her city being iced over. And it's got that Gematria 106 like black, also like prophecy. Prophecy being contrived right from the book by the numbers. 106 in Park. Anyway, we'll leave it there. If you can connect some more dots with Portland and Houston, I'll be checking the comments. But it just goes to show this is how they do it, you guys. Manchurian athletes synced up with the planned rituals for the cities they're in. And, just straight mockery. This Icy Park is next level. So we'll leave it there. And until next time.